get right into it here. Aloha, everybody, from the YouTube channel. As you can see, we're back here today with another podcast. We got a different mix of people here. We got, of course, Thompson here this week again. Archer coming back, this time not as a robot. Yeah, I hope. Hopefully his internet can hold out. Obolongo, it's been a little while since we've seen him. Good to have you back, man. And, of course, Seishi Zo. Yeah, we've had you on the podcast, I believe, once, right? Maybe like several months ago, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think so. So yeah, welcome back, everybody. It's good to have you guys here today. I appreciate you guys' time, and let's get right into some of the topics that we have lined up. It's kind of in line with last week's topic. I kind of want to see what you guys have to say about the secondary awaken units, right? New Dimension Hole has been out. People have built their first secondary units. Yeah, what is that for you guys? As well as, I think up to this point, you could have 2 already. Yeah, I have built 2 myself. What have you built? What have you seen? What's interesting? Any topics on this secondary awakening for any of these units? Yeah, feel free to go.
I didn't think outside the box. I just went with the 2 that I read that looks the most OP, which is the Fire Fairy and Bella. And they're both decent, very decent in like the 3-star siege, 4-star siege. But in RTA, they're like the Fire Fairy is a good stripper, and Bella is not as good as I thought he would be. He's not like Young Hong good, you know.
Yeah, I did hear things about the Fire Fairy. I heard after scaling her up, she's actually pretty consistent. I had one viewer, Jinxmon here, who was using it quite a bit. I was able to get quite a few points with it. But maybe it's more towards like maybe the G1, G2 level, because everybody else here is like G3. I'm assuming Archer's laughing because he probably has used it and didn't work. So let's hear the story. Let's go.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
I just built her yesterday, and yeah, she's pretty bad, but I feel like she's better than the other strippers where she's not really a dead unit after she fails to strip. Like if Okeanos fails to strip, or Sekhmet fails to strip, or Triton fails to strip, it's like, oh, GG, you might as well quit, right? But with the Fire Fairy, she bounces back, so I feel like she's better on Violent.
You did not just say Triton.
Dude, Triton's trash, dude. Don't lie.
What?
When have you ever stripped a Velojil with Triton?
I feel like Triton's the best stripper in the game right now.
Triton is so good, dude.
No, Ramahan is the best stripper.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why Triton is a 100% strip rate for me? Because it's always banned. Every time I pick it, it's always gonna be banned. It's a very high ban rate when you draft it in. Majority of times that I've
For me, actually, not that much.
You actually get it picked?
Yeah, because you have Gianna.
You got
there,
Gianna, dude. Come on, bro.
Yeah, Archer might get to know how to use Gianna today, since he was asking earlier today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you experience with the Fire Fairy though. No skill ups though, I assume, or did you skill it up?
Max skill, max
Really?
double mark. Yeah.
Wow, dude. Interesting. And this is just on trying to take first turn on Swift, I assume, the testing, and trying to just strip well.
Yeah, it's like plus 202, but it doesn't. It's like 75% works. Yeah.
Is it on crit damage? No, it's a serious question. It's a serious question.
Maybe.
So, like, let me ask you: wouldn't Daphnis always be 100 times better than Fire Fairy?
Daphnis misses armor break a lot.
Oh.
And my Daphnis is like 65% accuracy too.
Yeah, but whatever runes you put on the Fire Fairy, wouldn't you rather put it on Daphnis?
Fire Fairy, I think most people I've seen just build it kind of tanky, just to really be really fast. Everybody's been testing it like Oki, like building it like Oki was what I've been seeing. Yeah,
Not Archer.
I think Fire could be good on Despair as well. Like on your fastest Despair set, because no one's like trying to take that set anyways. And you can have it as like a stun.
That's true.
And
Only other unit is like Ethna or something like that you put on your fastest display.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Juno.
The
I like
second
Juno.
skill, the second skill barely stuns, and it's like 60% chance if you skill it up too.
Right.
It's pretty.
That's what I said last podcast. But Faint said, like, I guess it's true. Like, the less people, the better it is. But then most of the time, wouldn't you just rather do the first skill? Like, if there's
Yeah.
4 units.
Yeah. I figure like first skill is better than second skill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Seishizo? What have you built, or have you had any experience with this Fire Fairy?
I've actually been really lazy on it. Like, I didn't want to take the bullet in any like weird unit or something, and I was pretty much just farming runes. Well, that doesn't give you much luck either. And then I went for a really cheesy one, which was just Bella for only one RTA solution, and that's pretty much getting illusioned in RTA. That's the only reason I use a Bella on double Nemesis will. That's about all.
Oh, I see. That's actually very interesting to counter that.
Double Nemesis will.
Double
Yeah.
Nemesis will. Huh, that does
Yep.
counter to getting cleave. That's true.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Oh.
like you often get these cleaves for like Lucian, Zyros, Shaina, Tiana, Bastet. You ban the Tiana, you have a double Nemesis will, Bella, and your whole team survives. You take the turn, you can CC. They don't have immunity because it's just a Bastet. They all like kind of taking turns and stuff like that. Most of them aren't on will runes, so easy counter, easy win.
What's the speed on that?
It's like plus 145 or something. It's not that interesting.
Yeah, because if you
That's
take
how
enough damage, you're gonna
you
go.
put it
right?
on AD with Vermos, right? That's how you trap people back in the day.
Nah, I don't do it. That doesn't work.
No, I'm talking
Vermos versus
about,
Bella
you're a youngster,
and
man. I'm talking about like 2014 and stuff.
Oh, you're talking some Guild Wars too, right? Some,
Like Vermos,
Vero,
Bella?
Verd,
Yeah.
Bella. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude, old
yeah.
school.
And
That's how you
Brian.
trap people back in the day.
Brian.
Yeah. What's up? And what?
And
oh,
Brian
just
with
a
those.
Oh, I thought you said and Brian. I was like, you know what? Oh, my name. So you've just been farming runes then? So no crazy rune drops or anything then, huh? Just runes?
No, the only thing I have is slot 6, the will rune that works for Bulldozer, and that's about it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
I also mostly farmed runes, but right now I'm halfway done with Ramahan because I think he's gonna be the best one.
I'm
I'm actually gonna
done some
use him
testing
like
with them.
yeah, like I know a lot of people are talking about him in like cleave comps, but I'm just gonna use him in my like normal teams because I think his kit overall and his base stats are, like one of the best wind bruisers in the game, since he brings his own defense break, strip, and the thing is at like 50% HP, his third has like a 1300 multiplier or something
You're gonna kill like
when
anything.
he's second awakened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Ramahan's like it's like a Fengyan, but I don't know. It's like same but different, right? It's a tanky
Yeah,
unit.
it's way better, I would say.
Yeah, it's like tanky. It has defense break. It has strip, and that third skill. My reference is always you don't even need defense break, dude. If there's a half HP Fran, I think you might be like assuming you have solid
Yeah.
runes. I think that Fran's dead, dude, with a skill 3 without anything. Yeah. I've tested it in Guild Wars and it's been very consistent. So for those of you guys out there looking for a great Guild Wars unit, I think it's like an easy win Guild Wars unit right there to build
It
Ramahan.
does like 25 to 26k damage, right? If they have half health, without anything, like not even defense buff.
Yeah,
or-
probably it's gonna hit harder than Perna.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
hits really hard. And the
that
cooldown is
doesn't
really
matter.
low too. It's like 3 turns for skill 3, something like that. It's fairly low.
Yeah, it's a 3 turn in the second awakening because he gets 1 extra.
Right, and the thing that puts him over the edge is also the base stat increase. You know, it makes it more viable
Yeah.
now for RTA. You can make yours pretty nutty with the ability to have more HP, more defense on it. I've compared it to Fengyan, and he's got literally more everything except for attack than Fengyan. More speed, more defense. I think about the same HP and just less attack. That's it. Than a Fengyan, which is a great.
Yeah,
Great.
the speed is really big because then it's easier to make him go before units that you need him to strip for and stuff.
Feng Yan is so slow. It's like plus 90 speed or something. It's like 90 speed slow.
Yeah.
Oh, and he
Fengyan
takes another
is
turn.
fine.
That's that. Oh, we forgot. If he kills something, he gets another turn, right? Is
Yeah.
that also?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
dude. You kill something, you get another turn. How nuts is
He has
that?
the same passive as Ryok.
Huh?
He has the same passive as Ryok.
No, it's only for his third
Oh,
skill.
only third skill.
Okay.
So like, let's say there's a Vanessa, right? Something you nuke him, you nuke it. Vanessa revives it. You get additional turn. You get to set up a defense break or whatever on him, and you might even does that considered can you violent off of that turn, or is that considered additional turn? No, you can still violent off that
You
turn.
can bio, yeah.
So you can move 3 times, right? You can literally move 3 times. Move, kill, next turn, and then violent off that other one, which is really nice.
And he's pretty easy to rune, right? Because you guys are gonna have like violent defensive runes that you don't really use.
Right. Probably like a speed crit damage
Yeah,
defense. That's
exactly.
what mine is on. Yeah, on violent.
Yeah, there's only like Fermion people who use their defense crit damage sets on bio.
That's not true. Artemil users as well, right? They don't a lot
No,
of them run
no,
crit
no.
I
damage.
mean, only some use bio.
The-
Oh,
the-
not
the-
Vile, sorry. I'm
There's
sorry.
only one guy that uses it on fire, and there's
I-
a really good reason for that.
Extra
He only
defense
buys
damage
fire
defense.
room packs.
Yeah, I've seen that a
The
couple times.
druids are really good right now, and they use the violent defense that Ramahan needs.
Hey, remember Tyrannies from Haveton? Oh my god, dude. Watching him play Tyrannies was disgusting, dude. Yeah, it was like
From who?
Fran Haveton. Hey, stop it.
okay.
You
Okay.
yeah. Whatever you say. Every single time I say his name. But yeah, watching him use Tyrannies was quite entertaining. Yeah, that thing is very hard to kill.
He's
Very,
a
very-
really good monster.
He is. Actually, how to play also started like mid in the season. Also used it quite a lot.
Yeah, it works really
Yeah.
well with like you know, Velajewel, Artemil, like type of
Yep.
Josephine, you know, throwing a Gianna here and there and kind of ties everything together.
But
Okay.
even
I think
keeping it to the normal elements, if you add it with a Vanessa and a Ganymede, it's super annoying to kill because you can just reset the revives and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's unfair. Ganymede and Tyrannies is unfair.
It's super unfair. And his damage is actually so nice. His damage is so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I started noticing people put him on a lot of damage, so he gets like he's just like 20k HP left or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know Obolongo, I just noticed one thing as well. We're just like the only ones without Gianna. I think we should just leave the room right now.
Yeah, I know.
These
I mean-
other three guys, they're all Gianna users.
We can just use Corona. It's
Oh,
almost
yeah,
as
yeah.
good.
Yeah, almost as good. Yeah,
Almost,
so
yeah.
when it
Let's
lands
have
it, it's
Fire
good.
Fairy now.
I mean, it's better. It's better if it lands.
Fire Fairy higher base speed than Gianna. Easy.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So we're talking a little bit about the Druids here. What do you guys think about the Warbear Secondary Awakening? Since I know some of them are kind of similar-ish, kind of different. They're kind of weird, yeah? You find any of them viable? Of course, we know the light one is kind of like Monka, but what about the other ones?
I don't like any of them. They all seem to like just sit there and do nothing. I don't know. I know the dark one seems kind of promising, and I know Fwa messed around with the cute baby bear one. I don't know,
that's
but
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they look okay, but I don't think they're good enough to like warrant to use them. At least not in RTA. Like
Okay.
maybe for some Guild War defenses, they could be interesting for like 4-star towers. Maybe something like that.
And of course, basic Guild Wars offenses as well. I'm sure
Yeah.
will work pretty well. So some budget units, I guess, for some players if they're looking for something.
I
Okay.
think the red one could provoke like twice, right? But it's only one turn provoke. And if you bring it to RTA, you're just gonna violent proc out of it, or something really bad's gonna happen.
It's like a baby Belinus or something like that.
Yeah, kind of. It's the provoke's more consistent than Belinus, but yeah, it's kind of like Jean, but one turn provoke.
Yeah. Anybody
I
else
actually
like?
feel with
Go ahead. Sorry.
I actually feel with a lot of these units, they're like a semi version of another unit or like a combination of two units, but they're not really on par with the actual unit that's already there, like the actual 5-star. At least that's how I feel about most of the second awakenings. Like if you would miss like a certain net 5, you can probably fix it with like one of the second awakenings right now, but it's not necessarily gonna replace anything if you already have it.
I see. I see. Are you? What are you? Are you trying to get some food? But yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, do you guys feel like whatchamacall Ramagos didn't really? It's not really secondary awakening. I mean, he's just kind of there.
Yeah,
Man. I
he's-
thought it was gonna be something good, dude. Everybody's like, Ramagos, what's he gonna do, man? You know,
It's pretty much the same.
just it's just always having defense buff up. That's it. That's the
Yeah.
only change, really, right? And better base stats. That's it. That's so underwhelming. Yeah. But yeah.
But I think Water Fairy is going to be interesting as well.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the fairies and pixies. Some people said pixies as well, like Dark Pixie or something like that. Yeah.
Is one unit 2-turn sleep enough? Because I don't think it
No,
is.
the second skill and the first skill are really good as well.
What are
Like
they?
first, I think
Can you refresh
first
me?
skill is 60% or 80. Is it 60 or 80? Does anyone
What
know?
about Dark Fairy, right? Because right now,
No,
It's so good.
Water Fairy.
Water fairy. I think it's
oh,
Dark.
Water Fairy. Well, yeah, Water Fairy, I think is like number 1 or 2 on the Awakening list. I think.
Yeah. Rama is going to be the first for me and then Water Fairy. Because
What
her
does the Water
second skill is
Fairy
like... Her first skill is like 80% or 60% times 3 to freeze with the first skill. And her third is irresistible 2-turn sleep. And then her second skill is... Imagine like France, just that it boosts the attack bar by 45% on the unit as well.
Fran's second skill, so it cleanses.
So it's like
heals.
Yeah, it cleanses heals and gives attack bar. So it's like a combination of Grant Life and France skill.
Oh,
It is
the
Just that it
mermaid and
can't
Fran
revive.
together.
Yeah.
That's
It's
actually.
40%
So I actually think-
attack bar, right?
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
Platty
think-
and...
I don't think it does enough for a water unit in this meta.
I
What do
think
you
it
think?
depends on the fight. But like, what other like options would you bring for like sustain for water unit? Like maybe Miang.
Miang is actually. I tried to use her. Like I put quite decent runes on her, but man, she just dies no matter what build you have.
Yeah.
But would you categorize her as sustain? I don't know. Is she a sustain?
I mean, it's a 2-turn CD. It's like a mini.
But there's
short-
Fran. If
Yeah.
you want sustain, Fran does it better, right? I don't know. Just like it requires a lot out of a water unit nowadays. Like the water unit has to be really OP to be good. You know, like
They need to
Azure,
buff Chow.
Oh, what's up?
They need to buff Chow ASAP.
Oh, I know. I
That's
agree with you.
Because that's where your skin.
'Cause I love
huh?
Chow.
You're gonna drop that skin on Chow, huh? Definitely.
I'm gonna drop it on all of them.
I really like Chow. He's just not looking too good with like Fran and all these like attack down
Yeah.
monsters and stuff like that. It's pretty tough for Chow to survive.
You know, it'd be nice. I think that would make the Water Fairy stronger. Would be that the third skill, how you said it, unresistible sleep, but make it like a Thor's second skill, dude. Can strip and then unresistible sleep. Oh man, dude. Yeah.
That's too strong, dude.
Like my issue with the water fairy is her element. I feel like if the water fairy is like a light and dark monster or even fire, it'll be really good.
I actually don't like light and dark monsters that much. I think they have to have like a really broken kit to work well. Because I feel like having an element is way more important in the draft usually.
That's true, but
That-
like
they have
also
to have like
the
a very
Fran's
busted
kind of cool,
kit.
you know. It's just
Yeah, but Fran is pretty busted.
yeah.
Like kit wise.
Yeah.
Good thing they removed the stun.
Yeah.
Oh, very good thing. Yes.
Yeah, very good thing.
Yeah.
Because now Josephine won't even do anything against her. Because Josephine was like the best Fran counter. I actually think that Fran is nicer to use for the player using her now. I mean, she's less frustrating to face, but she's also like nicer to use. That's what I feel. Because you can control
Yeah.
the.
You can control the fight and the pace rather than a random
Yeah.
stun.
Exactly.
Yeah, they kind of gave her skill 1 into Neil, but I don't feel Neil's strong enough to be used. But her skill 1's good. At least we know that, right? Skill 1 is that stun that Fran used to have. But okay, any other units that we didn't really brush on here? Pixies? We still didn't hear too much about Pixies. Not really, right? So just fairies then. Pixies and Warbears are kind of like on the back burner, I assume.
Yeah, pretty much.
I really like Dark Pixie now. Like first week I had her, I thought she was underwhelming, but like the more I use her, the more fun I'm having with her. She's
What's-
like so much.
What's her exact kit? I know she has 2 different cooldown resets, right? But what is her exact kit?
Yeah, first skill just glance. Second skill AoE slow plus reset, and then third skill reset, but she does like 3 hits and then she gets 50% HP, which is actually pretty clutch. And then I guess it's different because I have Gianna, so when they're stunned and I reset them, they don't get the cooldown when they're stunned. So even when they take a turn, like their cooldowns, it's kind of like a 2-turn since they're stunned, and then the next turn they have, the reset is still there, and then I have it on violent. So by the time they're moving again, I have my skill up again. So I feel like they never have any cooldowns throughout the whole match. So it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, combining it with Tyrone is even more fun.
Oh yeah, that will work.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. It's a 1-turn cooldown, right? One turn.
I'm not a
cooldown reduction.
negative person,
I mean, reduce.
but I feel like none of the. I feel like I have to disagree with her because like none of the awakening units are really good. You know,
Ramahan
Alright,
is
alright.
really good.
Let me just
maybe Rahan's good as a damage dealer, but there's a lot of damage dealers. There's Perna, there's Odin, there's a lot, right?
Let
Sierra.
me just strip all
Yep.
your LD Nat 5s and then let's have this discussion, Thompson.
No, well,
No, but-
okay.
What
But,
Thompson is saying
like,
is pretty much
the
the
Dark
same as
Pixie-
I just said.
I think
It's
like the
pretty
Dark
much-
Pixie is good if you don't have Gani or Oki.
Hmm.
But to be honest, we all know what Archer's trying to do. He's trying to make content. But does he need Dark Pixie? You do not. Yeah.
No, but that's
Let's be
exactly what I
honest.
just said. Like, if you don't have the units, they're good fillers. But if you have the units, they're not gonna replace it.
Yeah. So I think it's because, you know, you guys are talking from a end game perspective where you have a lot of various units already in your pool of selection. So, but I think overall these secondary awakenings have been very solid to helping players out there have, you know, units to be able to use that are similar to the units that they may not. Right? This goes kind of in line with when they released the homunculuses, you know, kind of filled that role for players for PvE content wherever they needed, right? Now this is maybe a little bit more PvP, you know, options for them to have. So
Like if if you're stuck in Guardian 1 and you don't have Gani or Oki, you're not going to jump to Guardian 2 with Dark Pixie. So that's for sure. Yeah.
Maybe. Nah, that probably.
You're not.
No, I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
change that much. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You'd be still missing some
Archer's
units.
doing it because he has fast ruins and he's trying to make content. Understand, but that's not a really good unit, Archer. Come on.
Dude,
you know what I feel?
Got it from the people that don't have like full monster box. It's actually like it's a good free to play choice in my opinion.
To substitute which monster?
Like you said, okay, obviously Gani, Hathor bring a lot more to the table, but like like they just made Second Awakening for like everybody. Like there's some for like people who would even use Shannon right now.
You can't. You know, Dark Pixie's not that good.
Yeah, but I really feel like if you were really a G1 player and you were trying to get to G2, all you have to do is just do all 30 wings the whole season. And if you're a good player and your account's solid G1, you're probably gonna hit G2, and then you'll probably be a G2 that probably may not shouldn't be G2 potentially. Right?
That's
It's
true.
it's a lot about doing wings, yeah, and playing it right. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, if
and
you're
you
missing
probably
some core
get highly
units and stuff,
frustrated from your win rate, but
hey, as long as you can play consistently and keep a high success rate, 60%, 55%, you'll be fine. You just gotta do 30 wings a day. That's a commitment, right?
Like,
Wasn't
I
the guy
understand if you're
in-
watching? I understand if you're watching podcasts and you build a Ramahan. That's pretty cool. He could like do a lot of siege. He could do like a lot of different stuff. If you're watching podcasts and you're like, oh my god, I'm stuck in G2. I want to get to G3 for Dark Pixie. Dude, pump the brakes.
No, I actually think that Rahman could help people get into like G3.
No, I said
Ooh.
Ramahan. No, I think you misunderstood. I said Ramahan is good enough, even if he didn't
Okay.
go to G3. He could do like siege. He could do Guild War. But Dark Pixie, like, not gonna get you to G3.
You know, some of the
No,
implications.
but I
that
know
I've
you guys
seen-
were talking about that like the units weren't good enough to like be useful for RTA that much.
But you know
But I feel
what
like
it is, though?
Ramahan could actually be best in slots sometimes.
I agree. I like
I don't know.
Ramahan too. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good monster. I just don't really like Dark Pixie, but I know what Archer's trying to do. He's trying to.
Yeah.
We all know what Archer's trying to do.
Yeah, but
What am I
would
trying to
say,
do?
I would say for
I'm
majority
trying
of
to
players
get
though.
3 red stars, man.
You're trying to make bad
I
units
to get 3
good.
red stars.
You're trying to. No. Okay. Oh, let me stop him right there. He's trying to get 2 red stars. He's trying really hard to get 2 red stars. All right. His best.
I almost achieved it yesterday.
You almost got it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
How
one
many-
more day.
how much
I'm
points
pretty
are you
sure I
at?
get 2 red
How
stars.
much points are you at?
Huh?
How much points are you at?
25 something. Like barely 25.
I see. Yeah. Okay. All in all, I think this we've come to the conclusion that there's not too much changes for endgame RTA. But you know, going back to like even lower ranks like Fighter and Conqueror, building some of these units, I think you're gonna progress, right? In Fighter and Conqueror and other areas of the game. So it's good. Yeah. Overall, very solid. I like this discussion on some of the secondary units, and I'm actually very curious to see other secondary units come out in the future as well, because there will be more in 4 months. So more to kind of talk about and discuss, and maybe that we'll find some more gems in the future through those secondary awakenings.
Completely
In 4
off
months?
tangent.
I think
Completely
it's
off
3
tangent,
months, 4 months, something like that, something along those lines. I'm not sure.
Can you tell us which units so we can start stockpiling?
I have no idea, but we speculated that it's going to be units that were good in the past that are not good anymore. They're like Almond, so Bearmen, Hellhounds, right? Tarks and Seek used to be meta, right, for arena and usage. So they're going to revitalize that, so it feels fun, man, right? As well as you potentially might have it already built. I don't know. That's what
Grim
I'm thinking.
Reapers would be cool.
What's that?
I want to see something for Grim Reapers.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
They have some
that would
interesting
be fun.
kits. Yeah, all of them are
And that would
actually
like
pretty
make
interesting.
for a nice like island as well in the dimension, like Death Realm or something.
Oh yeah, that would actually look pretty cool. Oh. All right, moving on to topic number 2 here. This should be a quick one here. Just curious on some of the dungeons that you've done for Secondary Awakening. What are some of the strats and teams that you've been using? Because that's gonna be a big question everybody's asking. Like, hey, I saw you build Ramahan. Hey, I saw you build the Fairy, the Pixie. Right? What's a strat? Right? What do I gotta bring in? What's the dungeon? Yeah, for me, I did Inugamis. Right? And for the Inugami dungeon, it was pretty much just Fran or Verd, twins. Fran or Verd, twins. That's it. Kill left tower, then kill boss. That's like the main strat. It was like 100%. right? But what about some of the strategies for some of the other secondary awakening dungeons, as well as since you guys are farming runes, what's the strat for those rune farming dungeons as well?
For the fairy, I did the same exact team. I used as Inugami, I used bird, the boomerang, and the fire fairy.
So you control the attack bar, so it would never get invincibility, right? I think that boss gets invincibility.
Yeah,
Really?
the bird, and then boomerang, warrior, and the fire fairy.
I see.
And then for the other dungeon for the ruins, I used.
Oh, did you go straight? Did you go straight for boss? Sorry, for the fairy one, straight boss.
Yes, go straight for boss. And then for the other one, I go Sierra, Raiseville, Odin, Wind Monkey. Sierra.
Oh, I see. So some premium win units. I think the only thing that's not premium there is Frolsvig. Yeah. It's gonna take some time for people kind of, because everybody, you have to use the units you have in your box, right? Whatever same element units in your box. What about you guys for some of the rune farming dungeons you're doing?
Yeah,
like the fairy farming.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, go. You go. Say you go.
Say she's. I'll go first. I'll pick something. Yeah.
So for me, it was I used Eladriel, Wind Monkey King, Legmaron, and Jasoon.
Legmaron. Interesting. Oh.
Yep.
What is the
Because
strategy?
it has
What is the strategy anyways in there? Is there any?
Trying to survive because it's kind of nukes you quite hard. That's pretty much the thing.
I see. Okay.
Because if you go twins, it takes multiple turns or like multiple hits, and the multiple hits counts towards like the counter, and then it does ignore defense on you. So yeah, that's gonna hit a lot. That's gonna kill a twin, 100% sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the fairy dungeon was the hardest one for me, or like the fairy boss, the water guy.
Yeah.
So like my first team was Sierra and something, because like Belenus was the only way for me to like really fail. Because I feel like the Belenus during the like second wave is like real RNG. But now I've been running Bernard, Jasoon, Triana, and Odin, and it has never failed.
Hey, that's
it's like really safe.
That's pretty free to play friendly. Just have to figure out what is.
Yeah, it's only Odin.
Replacement
I think you can
for Odin.
replace him.
Yeah,
Odin's really good in there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You can just put in like Raman or something. Just use
Ramahan.
Raman for everything.
So make a Ramahan and then use it in there. That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
And it's like 3 minutes runs as well.
Okay. How fast are your
same for
runs?
me.
Oh, it's about 3 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you don't get much faster than that if you want to keep it safe. Like I also did a team with Bastet, 2 twins, and something else. I don't know. Like my fastest run is like 1 minute 30, but it feels like 20% of the time, and that's not worth your energy.
I see. So it just takes time, man. I'll tell you right now. You think 3 minutes is max? Somebody is gonna figure it out, dude. It just takes time to be 1 minute runs.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Archer? For the fairy or the pixie that you built, what was the teams that you were running? Kind of
for the dark pixie, you have to have beta. That dungeon is so hard.
You have to have beta.
Yeah, it's so hard to get like 100% runs. If you don't have beta, it's almost impossible. It even took me 2 minutes, and I used Faye, Isabel, and beta with the dark pixie, and it almost never failed. But it was like 2 minutes, and beta is like 100% necessary. I don't see any replacement for beta. And
If you don't have beta, it's okay. If you have Karaka, it might suck.
So easy. How about a Nikki?
Oh yeah, Nikki too.
Oh yeah, Nikki. There you go.
Not bad.
All these sustained fire. I mean, dark nat pods.
If
Interesting.
you need a reviver and armor breaker, you got one. You know.
yeah,
It's very interesting. So the difficulties of these dungeons, from what I'm hearing, people don't really struggle with the Inugami and the Warbear one. It seems most of the trouble is coming from the fairy one, and rightfully so, because the fairy one has the runes that are most sought after, right? I think it's Despair and Will that are currently in there. So I guess it makes sense, but I feel like they might have to make it a little bit easier, man, if they want players to do it. If not, they're expecting players to take longer to farm it, not maybe potentially being able to do stage 5.
I get a lot of people that say they just farm the 4th stage, and then I just recommend they just do that, because the 5th stage is actually really, really hard.
Yeah,
Wait for fire one. Which one?
For the fire fairy, I use Daphnis, and to do the strip armor break.
Yeah, I've been
I
seeing
have a bit.
For
two
the
strats.
for the fire fairy, if you go vampire boomerang, it's free. There's no way you could lose.
I think one thing I did hear is that you have to make sure that your opponent never moves. Because if the unit moves and it gets that invincibility, you're screwed with your team, right? Maruna, Shayna, and your Vert, you can't do anything.
It never happened before though.
Because you're fast enough. I think you have to have your twins at a certain speed. And
Yeah, but the bird has a speed lead and the
right.
infinite turns as well, and the fairy slows everybody down. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I heard 2 strats. It was either holding up 3 fingers though, but 2 strats. It was that fire 2-in-1, don't let them move, or bring in a stripper like Daphnis or whatever, some kind of stripper to get rid of the invincibility. And
I have a very weird team, but it hasn't failed. And it doesn't have like anything of that. It's Verd, Perna, and Bellanis. That's my team. So Perna is there for the sustain. Yeah, and it's actually working.
Nothing new. Hey, if it works, it works. Yeah, you know the nice thing is that they give us that test feature. I really like that. I hope that they put that test feature into other dungeons as well, so early and mid game players can do more testing as well without wasting their resource. I understand that this is a really rare resource, so this makes sense for it to be here. But I'd like to see it in other areas of the game as well. Yeah, which it's been kind of nice.
Yeah, and one tip, I don't recommend you bringing your you know how like we build the second awakening unit, so they're like level 1 and they're like 4 or 5 star. Like I recommend you bring them in like almost maxed, because they actually do stuff. Like they help.
Right.
I saw people who like you can put like fight runes and stuff on them to make it easier.
Yeah, like don't think that they're useless. You know, like don't bring in like a 4-star level 25. You know, it actually makes it a lot harder if you do that.
Okay, good.
Dude, because I got like mana stones, I put like my best violence set on the fire fairy just for consistency, you know?
Yeah, yeah, totally worth, dude.
Hey, you just have to farm it, get it done, and then just get it off, right? Who cares? You have enough mana for it.
Dude, my fire fairy is like taking first turn, slowing everybody down, stunning everyone. It's crazy.
It's total. You have to do that. It's actually you actually have to do that. Like imagine Thompson's runes and he still did that. Like if you're early mid game, like you just gotta.
Yeah, desperation is not a good look for me.
All right. Great topic. Lots of strats and different teams that you guys can use for this dimension hole. As time goes on, players will be figuring out, more and more free-to-play comps, more solid comps, faster comps. Going back to about being faster, though, I don't really think it needs to be that fast because, some people are saying in chat too, it's an energy you get every 2 hours, right? How hard is it to, do a couple runs, even if it's 2 or 3 minutes? You don't really care as much, right? Because you're not farming it all day. All right, let's move on to topic number 3 here, which is RTA season is ending soon. What rank are you currently in RTA? Yeah, and who is the top 4 for Legends? I think the top 4 is kind of secure, right? Yeah, okay, we lost the person. All right, see you later, Thompson. So RTA season is ending, but who's the top 4? And who do you think is going to win the Legend tournament coming up?
How to play.
Top 4 is how to play.
Sai is in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Sai, Tomato, How to Play, and
right? The new Dogman or old.
Is it Dog Guy's account?
Yeah, Dog.
Oh yeah, Dog Guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Shiseido is the alternate.
You guys see my wife earlier? She's
on the podcast.
Wait, are you really alternate?
Yeah, I got a message today that I'm invited to the tournament as a
dude.
That I have to be top 4.
They send that thing to like the top 100 players. Like everyone got it.
Oh, really? I thought it was more than that.
Nah, dude, not the top 100.
Like I'm ranked 30 and I still got it. It's like everyone gets it.
Then it's lame. Well, I was ranked
19 players gonna
What a party pooper! Let him like that.
Don't say that.
Like everyone gets it.
God, dude.
Like I'm not.
Oh my god.
My rank is not that high. Like they send you like the notice thing. It's.
What rank are you talking? We can't see that. We can't see. What rank are you?
No, I'm showing you the notice thing. They send you like a stupid notice.
What
but thing is,
what rank are you guys right now, anyways? Or what rank were you considered at that time?
Ranked 25 or something. I don't know.
I think it's top 30. That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm ranked 8 at the moment.
Top 30. What's the chances of making top 4 from top 30? Right.
Yeah, I guess if people don't show up though, which might happen, right? Because they don't really get anything except the title and the statue on their island, and I guess one more skin. So.
Did you guys see my wife earlier? She's wearing a hat.
We saw her come in. I didn't know she was wearing a hat.
It's weird, right? But so it was her 30th birthday 2 days ago, and I bought her a hat that has like rhinestones on it, a really ugly hat that has rhinestones on it. And I said, "Here, I got you something sparkly." And she's like, "Ew, this is like the ugliest gift ever." And it's pretty ugly gift, but I'm like, so like she takes the hat and there's a ring under a Tiffany's ring under the hat. I'm like, I did get you something sparkly, but it's not the hat. So it's like, oh, right.
Yeah.
And now she wears the hat everywhere she goes.
Oh god.
Everyone buys a ring, Thompson. Okay.
Yeah. The hat's
Everyone
special.
gives their girlfriends a ring, okay, for their birthdays.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's not special enough, bro. Everybody does it.
Just
least-
Tiffany's. Just Tiffany's. I mean, come on, bro.
All right.
You're like one of those. You're like one of those parents. Like, I don't want this participation trophy for my 3-year-old boy. This first place or nothing.
All right, so back with the Legend tournament here. Who do you think is gonna win? How to play? Is that it? You think so? Yeah, because this is not, you know, who's been playing the best this season. It's who will beat the other players, basically, right? Because they're getting matched up with one another. They're top players. You know, they got good runes. They're smart. They know each other, right? Who do you think will win? Because I mean, if you look at the top four, how many times do you think the top four have been matched up with one another in regular RT season? Maybe a handful, maybe a decent amount, but not a crazy amount in terms of the total amount of wings done, right? So
We talked about this in last podcast. I think the people's champ is Sai or Tree. But then I just jumped the bandwagon. I'm like, whoever's first place gets my vote, man. I'm team how to play. Yeah. How about you guys?
I'm on for Sai, dude. I really want Sai to win.
Yeah, I'm hoping Sai as well.
Yeah,
Because I think Sai
See,
drafts
people's champ.
best.
We want Tree.
I
to
don't
win,
think
but-
Sai will win.
I mean, he's not favored because his box is easily the worst out of all those.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Shane, though.
I mean, just looking at
Well,
his,
I actually know the win rates of like all of the players. So, but besides that, I know how they play and how they should counter each other. And I still think by far how to play is the most difficult to counter because it has everything.
Yeah.
It literally has everything.
Yeah, I know, but the player also has to think of it.
True,
True,
and
but-
it's
And he
that
could bring
situation.
new stuff
Yeah.
for the like Legends tournament. Just like Tomato
True,
with
but
that.
still, how much practice do you get against 10 LDs net 5s? Like barely. You can barely practice against anyone having 10 LD net 5s because there's only like 2 or 3 people have that. Whereas how to play itself can practice against everyone.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is, like when you go 5 LDs,
I
you
think
still
I'm lagging.
open. You're fine for me.
The-
But like
the
if you
thing
bring
is-
5 LDs, I feel like you're open to everything as well, almost.
true, but actually
no
that's the
element.
thing. Like she doesn't always, like it's a she, as far as I know.
Yeah.
She doesn't always bring the full 5 LDs, so she also thinks out of the box. Like
Yeah.
whereas you have some other players that are just like rushing 5 LD net 5s, she's actually picking smart stuff. And the thing is like,
Yeah, like-
her win rate is so
No.
insanely high.
I agree with everything you say, but smart stuff goes a pretty big way. I don't know about smart stuff, but the core is Gianna and Pater, and then you know. she
Of
works
course,
out-
everyone has a core. Like
Yeah.
like everyone in the whole top 100 has a core. Like you always have your first pick, your second pick, and then some filler units, or like 3, or you just like rush the same team the whole time. But the thing is, of course, you can ban some of the core, but still the fillers for her is so much, and the runes are actually on a good par as well. So that makes it really difficult to play against.
hey, I'm on your team, man. I'm team how to play as well.
So do you think
Yeah,
that
like-
she has? Do you think she has the lowest rune quality out of the 4 there, but just the strongest account overall?
I disagree. Her runes are good.
Probably not
Her
even.
runes are good. Her runes are good.
The runes are super legit.
I mean, all of them have good runes, right? But just
Yeah.
compared to one another.
I don't know what happened with her or he or whatever, but he got way better, like drastically better over the past 4 seasons, like
Mm,
insanely better.
interesting.
I mean, she was
So-
only using like Oberon cleaves the first seasons. Because I fought her a lot, and she was only using like Oberon
Yeah.
Bastet.
I fought her a lot, and she was not that good back then. But she's actually like what Shiseizo said. Like she actually thinks outside the box. Like yeah, she
Yeah.
has her core 3 to 4 LD5s, but then like if she sees you doing something weird, she'll counter it.
Like Tyrannus is a really good example of that. Because like one of my best counters to her teams before has been like ignore defense, just nuking units. And Tyrannus
Yeah.
counters that so well. since you can't nuke him and you can't nuke something else. So it's like
But
the best.
There's also a Huadem of like, I think it was plus 45k HP or something.
Oh god. Okay, I haven't fought that.
It's like, how are you gonna kill that?
Yeah.
There's no killing that.
Okay, interesting. I'm excited for RTA season. I'm excited for the tournament. Just a little side note as well. I don't know if you guys heard, but the commentators have been announced for this Legend tournament and for SWC. Yeah, it's been announced that it's going to be Making and Stoic. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. What are you guys' thoughts? Yeah, I heard Making is going to be casting this Legend tournament as well, which should make it kind of fun to watch. Yeah, this top 4 Legends tournament.
They're both really good at talking, and even when you watch Make It About stream, like when he's like, it's really hard to play RTA and kind of say what you're doing, but I feel like Make It About does a like really good job, like letting the audience know what he's doing, what he's thinking at the same time. Like sometimes when I try to do that, my freaking timer runs out and I get super angry, you know. I don't know if that happens to you guys. But...
Yeah, I think he's very clear with what he's thinking about. You know what I mean? He's very clear and he conveys his message good. So I'm actually quite interested to see his analysis because I think he's going to be analyzing a lot of the matches for SWC this year. I'm always curious to see how his brain is working, right? Like, okay, this match happened and this was this guy's downfall. This is what I think. You know, this guy could have chosen this. He did this at this moment. You know, I'm very curious to hear what he has to say. Yeah, because he's a very smart and calculated player. But he's also actually very smart and calculated in IRL too, right? For what he does, you know, as a job, he's just a very smart person. Yeah.
He's very articulate. Yeah.
Yes.
Stoic too. Stoic is he's really expressive. He's more personality, you know. Gets a hype.
He has a nice voice. He has a very nice voice. If you guys don't know Stoic, I got to meet Stoic at I think PAX East. He came to the meetup we had at PAX East. It was fun. Yeah, I got to meet up with him in person. He's also a Ragdoll Artemil user. Yeah, so
it's gonna be a good combo because Make It About hate Rattle Artemil. So see how that goes.
Yeah. All right, moving on to topic number 4 here. Yeah, topic number 4. General RT discussion. Yeah, anything interesting you're seeing? Because I know a lot of the players, the top players, as soon as they got their invitations or they knew that invitations were done, now they don't really care as much, right? People are kind of messing around, testing things out, secondary units, secondary awakened units, just playing around, right? They know that they can hold G3 or G2 or G1. So are you guys seeing anything interesting? Anything taking a rise? For example, of course, I've seen some G2 players using Bella pretty successfully from the looks of it. So have you guys seen anything else interesting happen? Is the meta changing? Yeah, and in turn, is this going to affect the tournaments coming up, right?
The only thing I saw is that all secondary awakened units kind of suck.
So like, people tested it out and you've like stopped
Very
them.
logical deduction.
Yeah, like
I mean, I've seen.
I didn't have like any trouble with like any of them, and I fought quite some, like also Ramahans and stuff like that. It's just it doesn't add enough to the table to, at least for me, to feel like, okay, this is dangerous. Like, ooh, he picks a secondary awakening thing, I gotta ban it, or I gotta watch out for it. Like most of the time, it doesn't do enough.
Okay, that's good that people think so.
Well,
That's good for me.
the comp Shishizo runs is more susceptible to like bruisers with passives, but Ramahan is not a bruiser with passives. That's what he's trying to say.
Oh, you're in SWC this year, right? Did you get invited, Seijizo? You did, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're probably.
Oh, by the way, about SWC, a small announcement. Tomorrow at 6:45, I'm gonna use this time. 6:45 Europe time. They're gonna make the announcement of all the 16 players that are playing in the group stage for SWC Europe, and that's on the Come to Us Europe stream itself.
Oh, sick! All right, because I don't know the entire list. I'm curious to see who's on the list. Yeah.
I think I know pretty much like 14 or 15 out of the 16 already, but yeah, curious to see because we also get like the actual groups and when they will be playing and stuff like that.
What about Shen? I recently matched up with him in RTA and he was like G1. So I was like, what was he before? Like because he was last year, right? He was in last year. I met him. Is he just not playing?
He just didn't play.
He just didn't play. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, because
Doesn't he have a Ragdoll Artemil?
Yeah,
Or
Ragdoll
is it-
Artemil, I think Wedgeat.
And Wedgeat.
One more thing, yeah. Something like that.
What were we talking about?
And
Shen.
Trinity.
Chene.
I'm not saying back to the previous topic. I'm
Sure.
not saying that Obabo. I'm not saying that Ramahan's not good. Of course, like one unit that could deal so much damage. But like if you're playing Shay Shizuo, actually like Feng Yan would be better than Ramahan because at least you could give it like resistance. You could give it could armor break. You know, it has a passive to get attack bar. But Ramahan really without the passive, with no passive, is really hard to deal with his comp. That's what I'm saying.
Beat Shishi's
But I think Rama will be like very big for people.
But yes, that's the only comp I
like
use.
Etna and Diana. If
Wait,
people
what-
are missing Etna or Diana, like Raman will be really big. But
Oh,
yeah, we
yeah,
shouldn't
for
talk too
sure.
much
I
about
agree.
Raman.
Yeah, he doesn't want it to be out there.
Shizuo, I know that's not the only comp you use, but I'm just saying that I know Ramahan's not going to give you problems. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
like
so-
now when I've been playing
Mhm.
and I've been picking Diana, there's been situations where I would rather want like Raman. Quite a lot of
Oh.
times because Diana moves out of her own immunity and she can't give her own defense break. So it's
But
gonna be like a really good wind bruiser.
is Ramahan good enough against these type of like 1 or 2 control comps? Whereas there's monsters like Antares or Josephine or even Juno that has those passives that are like really annoying to deal with.
No, I don't think against CC comps you can bring him that well.
But every comp has like 1 or 2 CC. Like everyone's going to be like Hathor and then blah 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 blah, blah, you know? Or
Just-
like
yeah, but if it's
Yami or
only,
Oki
like-
and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, then you could ban Hathor still. And you're fine.
Okay.
Just beat him. Just beat him
Alright.
over Longo. Match up with
But
him.
yeah, it's
and
gonna
just
depend
beat
on the
him.
draft. Yeah.
Just beat him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you see what I'm getting at with Ramahan.
Yeah, I
right?
know what you
He's-
mean.
Yeah, it's not that he's not good. He's really good. One hit, you're dead.
But he
No.
doesn't sound as
Against-
his kit doesn't sound as overwhelming as a lot of other units, is what you're saying, right? Yeah.
Yeah, with the passives.
With
and
passives,
the
yeah. Passives
I just like
are-
him because it's like, yeah, I just like him because he's very self-sufficient since he brings his own defense break and strip, and he's tanky by his nature
Mm.
with like insane multipliers. But yeah, we'll see.
But
Too much Raman.
self-sufficient- Oh, too much. You're not gonna. Okay, I get it. But like Josephine, you know, self-sufficient. You know, I don't know.
I'm
Sure,
surprised there's
arguments.
not more.
Obama's gonna kick my ass with Ramahan. Be like, ah, see, I told you so. I'm looking forward to it.
But I kind of feel like it's gonna be another like coin flip, as I call it, unit, same as like Duffness. Either it strips armor breaks and instant nukes you, and it's really good, or it doesn't do it, and it's terrible.
Daphnis is in the weird spot because he needs to go first, but it's so hard to make him go first.
Yeah,
Right?
for me, it's really a coin flip unit. Like, if it works, it's good. If it doesn't, it's complete garbage. And I have that with like quite a lot of units that, in my opinion, like some of these units are super like proc related and reliant. For example, a Josephine that doesn't proc
Yeah.
is garbage. A Josephine that procs is OP. And Friend, same thing. But Duffness is even more like that. And I think, whereas you say like Ramahan brings his own armor break and strip, is where you're reliant on a proc pretty much.
Yeah, a little bit, but I also like it because it opens up your draft a lot. Because you don't have to like build that around them.
True. But the chance of you getting an armor break and then the next turn there's still the armor break
Yeah.
is not always like that. That's like the chances of that happening is not that big. Whereas like for the violent proc, yes, it's good. But then it's like you're really drafting for RNG, like favorable RNG. If you get that, you win. If you don't, you lose. And that's what I noticed this season. Really, I really drafted a lot on consistent winning, and that's why my win rate is like 3% higher this season than last season. Simply
is your
because
win
I
rate
just
this season?
draft 72.2.
Pog.
So it's and my last season was 69.1, and it's mainly not even because I got like much better units or much better runes. It's mainly because I drafted around okay, what's gonna work most of the time.
What's your team so I can copy it?
Well, I don't stream RTA and don't make videos about RTA for a reason, and I delete all my matches. Like the moment I do a match, I delete it.
What's your Gianna speed?
I actually got a pretty similar. I actually
I
got a
have no
pretty
Gianna.
similar win rate, but I bring inconsistent stuff all the time. like Sierra is inconsistent, right? And I bring Antares is inconsistent, and Josephine. I depend on them
I
for.
wouldn't necessarily say they're too inconsistent in the setup that you use it.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, like Antares is so good, you know.
Dude,
No,
Antares
that's
is
actually
so
a
good.
thing. Like Antares has an above average win rate for my overall kit. And whereas you would say like it's a super RNG reliant unit, right? But in certain situations, it just consistently works.
Antares
And-
is one of those monsters you could give it to a C1 player and have him play against a G3 player, and the C1 player might just win, you know? Might just
No,
come
there's
out of
no
it.
way, dude. Okay, that's too big of an exaggeration, bro.
No, that's not
I
exactly.
actually have a clip of
See?
my Antares procking
How
no
you
joke
losing
like
to a
7 or 8
C1,
vibes in a
dude?
row.
Dude, sometimes
You
they're
don't
plus
have to
3,
give
4 times back.
Antares
back,
plus
back.
whatever speed. Antares could be plus 10 speed.
Yeah, it's true.
Dude, but how are you drafting that?
I'm
You don't
telling you.
outdraft every other unit that he has.
Okay, how do you guys feel about my statement? Oh, Babo,
I mean, I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's true.
Antares can be super toxic.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not toxic, but I think that's a little bit of a stretch, to be honest. But I get you. I
But
get
It
your
is,
point.
I'm stretching it.
Yeah,
I'm
I get your
stretching it to
point,
the
though.
limit.
I get your point, though.
Yeah.
It's
But
pretty.
then again, anything can be really toxic. Like a verti-heal that counters every counter possible, and then violent procs every proc, or a friend taking double turn every turn. or
an
Ganymede
Agar,
taking-
an Agar with the perfect violent
Yeah.
rotation. Oh, dude, that's so juicy,
Yeah.
dude. The perfect
There's
violent
so many
rotation.
things that can work on, like if you go like super heavy RNG, you have a lot of units that can work
But
like
those
really
three units, Agar, Fran, and that last Vertihill, they need good runes actually. Like if they don't have good runes, no matter how you play, you're not going to win. But
Yeah.
actually on Taurus, you don't really need good runes, you know?
True, true.
You can
Yeah.
have C1 quality runes.
Because you don't have to worry about the speed, which is the major thing, right? It's a big
Yeah.
factor, not having to worry about speed. That's where a lot of your efficiency goes when you're ruining things up, right? And trying to speed tune it to the level of your game.
Well, I do notice that you need quite some like tanky stats on Antares. Like if your Antares is not tanky, one bomb it's gone, one Perna hit it's gone. Like I've seen like quite a lot of Antares. Like, man, if this was my Antares, it would not die from this easy. Like 2 hits from Agar, it's gone.
I don't think any on Taurus is soft because they don't need speed.
Slot 2 HP, most
Yeah,
likely.
so people are.
Yeah.
It's like a bruiser, like any bruiser. You ever think about building a bruiser? Any bruiser, but now you just don't have to worry about one stat, speed. That's insane. That's actually insane. Makes it so much easier to rune up.
I do feel like he needs a nerf. Is that too much to ask? Is everyone on the same
I
page as me? Where
agree.
no.
Nerf him to the ground.
No,
Back to where he came
no.
from.
I think he's
don't
fun,
think
no.
he needs a nerf.
I think
That's
he's
just
fun.
Let me
because
just
of
say this.
one reason.
I don't really lose to Antares. I have no problem dealing with Antares. I just feel like that unit is a bit too strong during the last buff.
Yeah, I think he needs to
not
shoot.
because the main thing is like I think the main reason to buff it is to counter the Genny Hathor.
Diana's
Yeah,
as
the
well.
whole
I think
meta.
Diana's been a big
Diana's
problem.
as well.
Nerf Hawthorne.
And actually, the win rate of
Nerf them
Hathor
both.
went down quite a lot in the last few months. So I think that's mainly due to Antares. And where you look at Antares itself, its win rate is not that high.
Okay.
What
you know
is
something
its
else?
win rate?
You know something else that's been kind of nice that I've been enjoying is Win Monkey King, man. Yeah, kind of fun. I know Thompson doesn't like it. He tried it out, but
I tried it.
Kind of
I like
fun,
it.
man. Yeah, it
Dude,
goes good with the things that people draft, like Agar, Water Monkey King, of course Diana. It works so well, dude. It hits so hard. The thing hits so
I
hard.
one
dude.
shot a Ager, and after that I loved it. It was 20,000 damage. It was like bam, it's dead. I was like, whoa.
He's better than Feng Yan, right? If you remember, Thompson.
Yeah, he can just take so much damage, dude. He effectively just gets 35% more
The
HP.
Feng Yan
basically.
versus Sing Shay conversation, if you remember.
Wait,
Yeah,
which
he-
one was that?
Maybe you don't, maybe you don't. It was like a couple of podcasts ago.
Well, it was
many podcasts ago.
Feng Yan and which one?
It was Feng Yan, like me and Thompson were discussing who were better, like Feng Yan or Sing Shay. But this was before the buff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think we had that comparison before the buff. Yeah.
So Obabo was right and I was wrong.
Well, after
No,
after
not
the
really.
patch, after the
But
patch.
I just mean that
yes.
Sing Shay is good now. But I think
Oh,
Sing Shay
okay.
could be used before as well.
Yeah, I think that was a
Like,
discussion
if
before.
you use him now, you could like
Wrong.
see that it could be used before as well.
I think the topic was talking about units that were kind of fell out of meta, or units that weren't be using as much anymore, because we were talking about old season. Because it was fairly used actually, season 1, season 2, because a lot more bruiser comps, in my opinion, is from what I saw. Season 1 and season 2 were predominant in those seasons. So yeah, but it did fell off, and I think it's making a rise again, man. The runes on yours is insane, Thompson. I got to see that live, man.
I've added some accuracy to my. Thank you very much.
He had zero accuracy.
Yeah, you needed accuracy,
He
dude.
had zero accuracy.
You ruin nothing with zero accuracy. At least not if it has like any like on-hit effects.
Mine had zero accuracy, but I wasn't depending on him to armor break. I had Nefties to armor break.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
Until it was banned and you lost.
I've been I know Obama already tested out, but I tested out another Antares, the water Antares, Regal. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Really?
The reason we've been seeing that thing recently?
I've played against it a couple of times, but I
Yeah,
didn't feel like.
last 2 days I got 2 Rigels, and I was like, what the hell?
What does it feel like?
He's pretty good, right?
What does it feel like? Does it feel like a water fire monkey king, or what does it feel like when you're using it? And what are you using it for?
I bombed him, he died, but then I played on another account, and it actually took down Arda Ragdoll. I was so surprised.
What?
I think you're playing it wrong, bro. You got taken down by a Wriggle with using Ragdoll and
Because I didn't know what it did, so I kept targeting it, and it kept getting stronger, and I was like, what the hell? And I didn't know. So like all of a sudden it life leeches too, you know. So I was like just trying to target it with Arda Ragdoll, and then I didn't know what it did, and then all of a sudden my whole team was dead. Like I didn't know what happened.
Let me guess,
And-
it's too tanky? It's still tanky?
Dude, it was so tanky. It was so tanky. Yeah.
I think that's just a one-off though, man. Yeah, the
Thing
one-off
is-
there.
Now that his passive actually works, he's like not as awkward into Diana like other. I think yeah, because
So,
like
like,
Diana counters almost all water units.
Now that
It's awkward to go into him with his crit reduction.
It is. Diana bring into him. It's still Diana's better, but anyway, he's really great to use right now because you get faced up against it's like locked in your head, like either Sai, Topa, Varian, Faint Memory, this El Mimo guy, Emte, Fido Lopez, Popo Panda, Trocamu, Michael Yen, Fall Panda, anyone that's in the SWC. And when you're playing against them, you're not going to bring your units. You bring your second team.
Oh, is that what Thompson's doing? Ah,
So then-
okay.
Why would I show you my Artemil when I could bring in light water lich? So like right now he's
Or
very
Neftis,
good.
or Gianna.
No Nefties or Gianna. I just hey.
Man, you spam at all matches.
Yeah. So like when you get
I
faced
check
up,
your matches, you use the same team.
well, that's not. Hey, don't look at my replays. but that's
Exposed, dude.
Well,
Exposed.
I got statistics on you, man.
No, whoa, stop right there. Don't statistic me. But hey, when I get matched up against the people I just named, I don't bring my units against them. You can watch that. Statistic that. Yeah.
He probably doesn't have that statistic.
Yeah, no, I know.
I could
But
feel it.
what I'm
I think it
saying is, yeah, I bring my units to against other players, yes. But imagine I get faced up against like Faint Memory. If I bring in my team, he's gonna watch that replay like 10 times. He's gonna watch why he lost, how he lost, and when he lost. 10 times.
Yeah, everybody's
Right?
hiding
Same
all
way
their
when
units.
I lose to one of them.
Everybody's
Right?
hiding all their units and all careful now.
Exactly.
I watch
So then-
Faint and he's drafting and he has to pick everything from his monster box. It's
Oh
so
yeah,
it's
it's
so
kind of annoying.
it's so annoying to watch.
But
Okay,
He has to
what
go
I'm
in
saying
and
is
click
like
it.
against the other SWC group, like you're not gonna pick out your monsters, right? So you just
Yep.
use whatever and go from there.
I mean, he's not gonna take it out of his monster box. He's gonna have it in his monster box. It's not gonna be outside, right, for everybody to see.
Well, even if it's in the monster box, you're not gonna. Even if it's out inside, you're not gonna use it because the game they lost to you, they're gonna watch it 10 times in a row.
Mm.
Yeah, so you don't do that. You just let them have the win, or they let you have the wins, like a battle behind the battle.
What were you gonna say? Say Shizo. You're about to say something there.
Actually, I also put pretty much all of my normal units in my normal box, or like all of the PvE units, and then I put all my PvP units, like all my RTA units, in storage, which is super annoying to draw from. And I made this suggestion a couple of times already, so maybe they're listening here, come to us. Make a box where you can just pre-fill all your units that you only want to show in a certain box, and only show that box for RTA. So just have like 25 slots. You can fill it with 25 slots or 30 or 50 or how many you need. and you only show that box. And then you can even like order it by yourself. Like I want this one position 1, this one position 2. And you can create your own box like that. That's so more chill to RTA from rather than scrolling through a list. If you have your normal list, it gets updated by your last unit, so it's all over the place all the time. Sometimes it gets reset, super annoying. Then if you put it in storage, you add one element unit of like any element, and the whole thing shifts. So all of the lines, like currently I know my Gianna is in this slot and my Sierra is 2 above it. If I add in one more light unit, it shifts. It's super annoying.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty
So
good
if
idea.
you just have a box, you can like customize it yourself. Would be so chill for RTA.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
that'd
other decks. That's why for just PvE dungeons. So why not one for Actually, they have some for Arena as well, and Guild Wars, right? But why not for RTA? That's really good. So then you know where everything is at all times. I think that's actually really good, and you don't make the mistake of choosing the wrong one because sometimes we have multiples of a unit, right?
Yep.
Like what happened last year at SWC. I'm always gonna note Chuffles choosing the wrong Sierra in the match, man. Feels bad. But yeah, that would be really good for that, and it might make it easier on their end as well for the SWC, right? To have things happen and flow a little bit quicker and easier and look a little bit sleeker. Yeah.
But that might be a little bit more selfish of a request because it only matters to like a good like 2% of the whole community, right?
But I think
Well,
I think it
we also
matters to
get the
anybody.
skin, which is also 2%.
True, but I think it matters to a lot of people that actually care about doing RTAs, right? They can build units and put it in. It's just cleaner. It looks cleaner, right? I'm gonna do RTAs.
Oh, okay.
It's here
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I see that
So
now.
it kind
Sorry.
of benefits everybody, I feel. But yes, it does benefit the top 2% or 5%, 10%, whatever it is, players that do actually do RTAs quite a bit.
I see what that. You're right, Shizu. I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's like
Hey,
necessary, though.
I like it when they bring in the wrong units. I was the one that benefit from the wrong Sierra, so yeah.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I also I think I remember clearly he brought the wrong Sierra and he used Yanni's third skill on the wrong unit. I felt like I said that last year, but I forgot exactly what happened. Because he
Okay,
actually
the
could have
wrong
won.
Sierra might be like that's not my fault too, but definitely the wrong unit. That's not my fault, man.
None of this your
Yanni-
fault. That's his fault for choosing the wrong Sierra, right? But it was kind of strange that it didn't move.
Hey, just so happens the 2 players I played was drunk, so I'm hoping that both players are drunk. Please, alcohol is your best friend.
Oh my gosh.
That's the person that doesn't drink.
Yeah, no, I don't drink. Yeah.
All right, just gonna open up here. We still got maybe like 5-10 minutes at most here. If there's anything you guys wanted to bring up, any discussions you want to bring up here, we had some good notes here today. But if anything you see in chat that you want to bring up that sparks a conversation, feel free to do so. It'll kind of brainstorm a little bit on whatever you guys want to talk about left. One thing we talked about last time, what do you guys think? Legend should get 5 skins? Yeah. Guardian should get, G3 should get 4, 3, 2, and C3 should get 1. What is your thoughts on that? I think last time people said that it would be too many people, but I think the C3 pool is not that crazy big, right? It's not that crazy big, and to get 1 skin, I think it's fair, or else they're never gonna get that skin. It's like they release like 2 a year in like Special League, right? So I don't know, a little bit more feasible and maybe gets a little bit more action from players. You know,
I like the C3 getting something. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something
Like
new
the
then.
C3 getting nothing, you know.
Emotes.
Yeah,
That's always a discussion we have. Emotes, where you can use those emotes during the game. Yes, because Thompson has been vouching and pushing for that. We gotta talk about
No,
that
I'm not
every stream.
pushing for emotes. I am not. I'm pushing just for chat.
That's
I don't
more than
want no
emotes, though,
emotes.
man. That's the next level.
No.
Yeah,
Why can't I
Hearthstone
just
doesn't even
talk?
have chat, dude. Because they don't want you to
No,
PM. They don't want you to
coming
PM.
from someone that actually played what's that game, Clash Royale? Like emotes and actually typing is 2 different things, or Hearthstone, right?
Right.
I'd rather just type instead of spam emotes.
But like the more feasible thing to request with less issues and more feasibleness from them to release would be emotes. Typing I feel would be like next level because they'd have to gauge people BMing, people trying to put spam messages to sell things, people trying to
You could BM when you're not playing as well. I don't get it. You could BM in Siege, right?
True.
No, but I get it. You can make
Siege is not that one-on-one.
It's like more packs you could sell and more stuff you could do. So I see where the emotes is coming from. I like emotes and chat. If you could do both or whatever. Chatting, it's 2019. How can I not chat to like my opponent?
It's too toxic, man.
Yeah, it's toxic.
How is
Yeah,
that toxic?
It is gonna be toxic.
Dude, I would call everyone freeload at an easy win, and if they violent proc, I just call that bullshit.
You could line
I
chat
will
them
be
easy
toxic.
win. You could line chat them easy win. You could tell them easy win.
No, that's
You're-
too much
you-
effort.
Like in the game,
And I don't have
you-
all
you
the
really
Chinese
think-
on WeChat.
I really don't think typing in a battle is a big deal at all. It's 2019. Like Street Fighter, like LOL, any other game you play, you could type to your opponent, even talk to them.
True. Do you think it might be like they're too lazy to do it, or it takes too much resources to do it? Because that would entail cross server servers being able to communicate with one another, which might be hard, right? The only thing cross server we have is really RTA, which has no chatting. I'm wondering if maybe that's something on the back end that would kind of get mixed up. I'm not sure. I'm not
You're
clear
saying
about
the
whatnot.
only way I could
In the
talk to
Goodwill
them
battle,
is
you can chat.
to flash my Rama
Oh,
goes
Goodwill
over-
battle you can chat though. Actually, that's true. Yeah, they never.
Thompson actually had a good idea there.
That's not much
Like if
help.
you have voice chats in RTA,
Man.
That's awesome.
please.
Yeah, violent
Oh,
talk power, you
yes.
scrub.
Yes.
Yeah, take that, despair, son. You scrub.
2019, man.
No, man.
That would be
Oh,
so
man.
good, like stream content. Imagine people like screaming at you on the stream when you're fighting.
Oh my
No,
god.
yeah, I totally agree. If you could like voice chat, oh my god, life would be beautiful.
Then I would use Corona like every
Man.
fight, just for those quad sleeps whenever they happen.
Imagine like the toxic songs you're gonna hear.
But also,
Oh, yeah,
like,
that's true.
even if the chat is toxic and they're like, "Oh, fuck you," Thompson. Then if I don't respond, then there's no ammunition. So what if they're toxic or not toxic?
People don't need ammunition; they just shoot.
I don't know, man.
It would be fun.
I would love
I would love to
chat.
see chatting and emotes, both. Honestly, I think it could be pretty fun.
Yeah.
BM, but I mean, in this day and age, there's already a lot of BM that's already going in the chat, right? So
Yeah.
I think it would just be entertaining, and I really hope that they take the idea. That's why I keep bringing it up every podcast. Yeah, we hope that that one guy from Count to Us, pushes it.
Yeah,
So,
emotes are okay, but in game, dude, there might be like little kids and
Nah, little kids don't play this game, bro. The age demographics are
Oh,
not very
trust
low
me,
for
they
this
do.
game. Yeah, the demographics are more
why are you so
middle age.
Why are you so scared of internet bad manner when there's like real life bad manner too? Like imagine you're playing basketball with someone, and someone's just like, "Oh, you suck" or something. Like, I don't know. Like it's always good to be like a good sport, but I don't think like the bad manner will take it too. I don't think you should stop the in-game chat because of bad mannerism, right?
I think it just adds a lot more trouble to them because people are gonna be chat restricted for that like a lot more often than they are currently.
You know what's kind of cool? People are saying it in chat too. I guess typing might be kind of hard while you're playing RTA, right? So at the very least, like I was saying, emotes would be good, or maybe you have like a 60-second window at the end of the match to say like GG or something to your opponent. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, you get
I think you
access
just have to
GG.
like.
There won't be a GG. There will be
I
playing
think
me.
you-
A 30-second window to go down, left, right, up, down, left, right, left to enter a fatality.
I think you just have to
Man.
like learn to.
Mortal Kombat Summoner's War.
People go
you have to
essay
learn
mode
to,
on you in that
rope
30
and
seconds.
then type at the same time.
Wait, what's that? The rope and type.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
have-
god.
You have to like learn the rhythm, and then you can type
Oh
by
my
roping
God.
at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to do that, but I guess that's for them to decide, right? Yeah, I think it's a good
add,
idea though.
can they add Doublemon to the RTA shop, please?
I think I asked them that before. I think they announced that before too. That I don't think they'll be doing that. They said they won't be doing that. Yeah. I would like to see
There
4-star
should be
Doublemon though.
Yep,
Be nice.
I think that's the perfect place for it.
Yeah, give it a 4-star Doublemon, dude.
4-star
Like, let more
Doublemon.
people
I've been
play.
pushing it for so long, dude. Trying to tell them for so long, and it still has yet
I
to
know.
happen. Yeah. Right. Any last words, here, guys? I love chit chatting. I could literally sit here with you guys and like talk forever. To be honest, like it's fun. It's fun. I think these podcasts have really evolved from when we started them. Yeah, like December. Yeah, it's been like over 6 months now, so it's been great. They've been really, really fun, really informative. A lot of people enjoying them here live as well as on YouTube. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. We hit some great notes and some great topics. Looking forward to the Legend Tournament this weekend. Make it about. I think you're in the chat, right? Look forward to hearing your commentating, my friend. Yeah, it should be very, very fun to
Looking forward to it, Chris.
get to
Good
see
luck.
inside your brain, sir. Yeah, inside your brain. Alright guys, thank you for joining us. If you guys are watching from the YouTube channel, make sure you guys hit that like and leave a comment below. All the questions, all the suggestions down below, I usually read up before the next week's podcast. So make sure you guys leave something there, or even if you just want to leave a comment on what you thought of the podcast. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast, and we'll see you later, YouTube. Peace out.